Meeting new people can be pretty scary. Sometimes you just get bad vibes from them immediately. Other times you meet people and just become instant besties. And sometimes you meet people, you get to know them, and after a while, you see them in a way worse light. And that's what happened to me with Cranky Kong. I love Donkey Kong games. Something about them really just speaks to me on a deeper level. I grew up playing Donkey Kong Country with my older brother at my grandma's house on the weekends. I play him almost exclusively in Smash Ultimate. And now I play Donkey Kong with my son, and anytime we beat a level, we bang in our chests like Donkey Kong. So when I started my YouTube channel, I knew I just had to talk about DK. I just wasn't sure really where to start. I'd played most of the popular games, so I figured I'd just look one up and be like, maybe just do that one. Hang on, what is that? What in the we have Donkey Kong Country at home kind of game is this bullshit? Donkey Kong Land. Developed by Rare and published by Nintendo in 1995, also known as Super Donkey Kong Gameboy in Japan, but I prefer to call it by its proper German name. Der Affe ist auf dem Gameboy!
Oh, no, 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 no.
Donkey Kong Land used much of the same assets from Donkey Kong Country, just compressed and downgraded into sprites. It's so detailed for the Game Boy though. Sometimes it's a little too detailed, honestly. They also reused some music from Donkey Kong Country, but that is not a bad thing. David Wise and Graham Norgate were really feeling it when they composed, or recomposed, decomposed? Whatever you call it. It rocked. Check these out. Donkey Kong Land sits in a bit of a weird place. It takes place a few days after Donkey Kong Country and talks about it in the manual, so it's kind of a sequel, but it was also originally supposed to be a remake of Donkey Kong Country, but it became its own thing, kind of. It's almost the exact same story as Donkey Kong Country, but more on that later. So, is it a sequel? Is it a remake? I'd like to think of it as a dequel. It was developed alongside Donkey Kong Country 2, so it shares some of the same design ideas. There are more vertical level designs like in Donkey Kong Country 2 that were not in Donkey Kong Country 1. Also, Espresso and Ramby are here. Hi Ramby! This game, like most Game Boy games, has its fun little quirks. The tiny screen can be a pain in the neck. Sometimes I'd climb a rope above the ground and when I drop off to land, I'd gone high enough that it would just despawn the ground below me, so I would just die. In Donkey Kong Country, when you crack open one of the buddy barrels, Diddy or Donkey Kong will just follow you around the whole level. But because it's on the Game Boy in Donkey Kong Land, they couldn't do that. So when you break one of the barrels, your buddy just gets abducted. Then, as soon as you get hurt, you just get flung back, Crash Bandicoot style, into action. Okay, so, speedrun of the story. King K. Rool has stolen Donkey Kong's banana horde and hid them across the island. And I know what you're thinking, didn't they just get them back in the last game?
Yes.
So it sounds like the same story, but hear me out. In Donkey Kong Country, you're trying to get your bananas back from King K. Rool. In Donkey Kong Land, you're trying to get your bananas back from King K. Rool and slap the shit out of Cranky. A little different.
Why? Because it was a freaking inside job. Cranky, Benedict Arnold Kong, or whatever his middle name is, called up K. Rool and gave him the bananas.
He beat you once, but I'm pretty sure it was just the graphics. That's why the game was popular. I'll let you steal the bananas again and he'll stop you, but on worse hardware. By the way, I bought Donkey Kong Island for 1 banana coin and a stick of gum. Maybe if you worked harder, you could buy one today.
I hate Cranky Kong because of this game. Everything's fine. DK and Diddy chase K. Rool and his crew across some new parts of the island. You start in DK Jungle, go to a frozen mountaintop, and then King K. Rool's ship. Then you go to Cramlantis. That's the coolest freaking name. It's a ruined temple both above and below water. Then you get to the worst levels. The mountain levels are fine. They're basically just more vertical cave levels from Donkey Kong Country. The cloud levels were not fun. There was an interesting idea, especially the moving platforms, the one where you have to jump and it'll move with you. Gosh, that one sucked. This all leads you to the final world, Old Donk City. Big Ape City. You scramble up scaffoldings, committing numerous OSHA violations along the way. take a ride on a freaky deaky blimp, and eventually crash King K. Rool's totally rad new pad. The K. Rool fight was a little less tough than Donkey Kong Country. I did like his majestic swan dive though. Scared the shit out of me the first time. Looking back, I'd rate his swan dive a 10. Overall, this was a really fun game meant to get the fun of Donkey Kong Country on the go. I think it accomplished that. Through all the highs and the lows, the overdose of potassium, this game was a pretty good time. This game taught me a valuable lesson too. Never trust the elderly. Especially Cranky Kong. Geriatrical bitch.